guys, I am Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Origins Tri-Klops, Evil and Sees Everything. That is right. Rounding out a look at the current wave, we are going to take a look at old Tri-Klops here. He's always been a favorite of mine, so let's dive right in and check him out. As you can see, comes on that same style, classic vintage-inspired blister card, which I absolutely love. Modern posing, retro play. We've got the mini comic package behind the figure. And as we rotate that around to the backside at the top, we've got that beautiful artwork that we see on the back of every one of these blister cards. This one's got Tri-Klops blasting a laser down at He-Man and Battle Cat. I also love seeing both Zoar and Screech up in the air with their armor on as if they're about to do battle. I think that's a pretty cool little touch there. And then down below that, of course, we've got our cross-cell showing the other figures in the wave, and our little action feature call-out, kind of showing you how Tri-Klops' visor can be turned and his articulation works. So, let's go and get this guy pulled out of the packaging, and we will get a closer look at him. Okay, before we get to the figure, it's worth noting that Tri-Klops comes with that same mini-comic as the other figures in this wave, which includes Ninjor and Stratos. So Tri-Klops, of course, is one of the characters who is featured prominently within this story. And the other little thing that's been coming with these figures now is the insert letting you know that the parts are removable. I'm just going to reiterate that I love that Mattel is doing this now, because this has been an action feature from the beginning of this line, and a lot of people were surprised by this, so I'm glad that this is in there, letting you know that you can swap parts with all of the figures within this line. Alright, we've got our Origins Tri-Klop figure outside of the packaging. If I bring in the tape measure here, just to show you guys that he stands just shy of 6 inches, so he's in that 5.5-inch action figure scale, just like the vintage Masters of the Universe toy line. And this guy, I mean, honestly, he's really, really cool. So he does a good job of capturing the look of Tri-Klops from the vintage line. One of the things that stands out on this guy, which has been the same across the board with Origins, is that he's much brighter. The colors used, like that green, is a much brighter green than we've seen on the vintage figure, and you guys will really get a look at that when we do the comparison time later on in the video. He does have some orange paint on the front. It's unfortunately a little sloppy, like you can actually see some of the green kind of poking through it there, so it's not laid on quite as good as I'd like it to, but otherwise the rest of the figure does look real clean. Here's a nice little detail on the sculpt that I like. If you look at him from the side or the back, you'll notice that there's like a black part of his little visor that comes down, but then he's also got hair sticking out of the back of his helmet as well. Now that's all molded in the same black, or maybe it's painted black, so it's not really differentiated too much, but the sculpt differential is there, and I like that because when you look at the vintage figure, it's like the hair is kind of there, but it's harder to make it out. So this is really cool. I like how we have a very distinguished like sculpt for the part of the helmet that he's wearing coming down, as well as his black hair coming out of the back. And then the visor itself works just like on the vintage action figure, and we've got the same kind of eye. So we've got the red eye, we can rotate it around to the blue eye, and then we've got the really angry all red eye. So he's got all three of those eyes that matches up with the look of the vintage action figure. So very, very cool stuff. Otherwise, articulation does function the same on these guys as it does with all of the figures in the lineup there. You can see all those same points of articulation, which is really cool. And he does have all those removable parts like I showed you on that little sheet of paper there. So you can pull the arms out of the socket at the shoulders. You can remove the torso from the waist. You can remove the boots at the boot cut, the wrists, and you can still pop the head right off of that ball joint there, even though he's got that added little feature with the visor. So all of that functions very nicely for anybody that wants to do some part swapping. And he comes with his signature green sword, which again looks very similar to that of the vintage toy, but it's in that same brighter green that we've got on the new armor there. He does have a sheath on the back of the armor, which is fantastic. So you could put the sword there if you'd like to store it on his back, or he's got the gripping hand on the right. His left hand is the open sculpted one, and he gets a nice solid grip on it. So all in all, really love this guy. I mean, he's basic, but he matches up with the vintage figure very nicely, and I think everything functions real well on him. So that's gonna bring us to comparison time. Let's go ahead and put Tri-Klops alongside his vintage action figure counterpart. This is where you can see everything I was talking about with the difference in the colors. Also in the face, you know, the new one's got like the gritting teeth, while the old one, there were a couple different formations actually on the mouth on the old one, but most of them were just kind of frowning like that. So it's kind of cool looking at these two standing side by side to see the similarities and the differences. And I always like to put these guys alongside the recent Masters of the Universe Classics figures, which were the 7-inch figures made specifically for collectors. So a little more paint apps, a little bit more sculpted details, but still fun looking at these two side by side. And there you have it, my friends. That is a look at the Origins Tri-Klops figure. Like I said, he feels a little basic, but like in a good way. He does a good job of matching up with the vintage action figure. And one of the things I like is we are really rounding out Skeletor's kind of iconic group of henchmen there. So getting him all like in that pose, that group pose with all those other figures, just looks really nice. Very solid figure all the way around. So Tri-Klops is hitting Target stores right now. I got to give a very special thanks to my buddy Toy Bro because he picked this guy up for him and sent him along. If you're not already subscribed to Toy Bro, go check him out. He likes a lot of the same things as me, so he talks about a lot of the same things as me, which means you might dig his content. Otherwise, you can also pre-order this guy right now at a lot of the online stores like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth, so I will link to him in the video description. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and until next time.
The Toys of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is available for pre-order now. This official guidebook is published by Dark Horse Books and features over 750 pages of photos and information on your favorite He-Man and She-Ra action figures. And don't miss out on the exclusive bundle pack available for pre-order now from PowerCon. This bundle includes the official guide as well as an exclusive character guide supplement that you won't be able to buy anywhere else. Don't miss out. You have the power.